Oregon 911.
I would like to order a pizza at...
You called 911 to order a pizza?
Yeah, apartment...
This is the wrong number to call for a pizza.
No, you're not.
I'm getting you now.
8 secret messages sent by hostages that saved their lives. The fear of kidnapping has been played on by plenty of blockbuster movies. Usually, the stories are about a charismatic hero who rescues the victims with sheer brute force and heroic endeavors. Real life, however, is usually not that simple. In today's list, we will be looking at 8 hostage situations where people rose above the trauma and managed to survive by getting out a call for help in some incredibly smart ways. 1. In 2010, the Colombian military was faced with a unique and terrifying dilemma. A large number of Colombian soldiers had been taken captive by the FARC guerrilla forces that were trying to overthrow the government. The problem was that the guerrilla fighters had a policy of killing all their hostages at first sight of military intervention from the government. The ensuing rescue operation has to be done in secret, but they felt it was necessary to get hope to their soldiers by way of a coded message. They turned to Mr. Juan Carlo Ortiz, an ad man with a knack for interfering with the FARC establishment's plans by way of media campaigns. Mr. Ortiz came up with an incredible idea. He created a full-length pop song that contained a Morse code message in the melody that read, 19 rescued, you're next, don't lose hope. The song was repeatedly played over government-controlled radio stations that could be picked up throughout the jungle areas. Although the secret message was sent by rescuers instead of hostages, it is still worth putting on our list due to its sheer brilliance. 2. In 1977, South Moluccan gunman took control of a Dutch train that was carrying 52 people. The hostages managed to code the message, "Get us out of here," in Morse code by using a piece of mirror to flash the code to people they passed as the train went by. Authorities got a hold of the information and tracked down the train. A gunfight ensued and most of the hostages were freed. In the end, their fast thinking and ingenuity saved their lives. 3. In Pensacola, Florida, a young girl who had been kidnapped by a man she had built an online relationship with. It turned out that the man was a convicted sex offender. Luckily for this young girl, her mother had taught her to use a secret code word if she was ever in real trouble and could not speak up. Her mother received a text message from the young girl that contained the word blueberry pie, which indicated that she was in trouble. Her mother contacted the police and they identified and apprehended the man through data they collected from her computer. 4. An unnamed woman was held hostage by her boyfriend, a man named Jeremy Floyd. Eventually, after being kept hostage in her home, she convinced him that they needed to take their dog to the vet urgently because of a serious ear infection. When they were at the vet, she managed to slip a note to the secretary on duty in which she stated that her boyfriend was keeping her hostage and he had a gun. The secretary kept her cool and called the police, after which Floyd was subsequently arrested. 5. Oregon City, Ohio. A woman involved in a domestic violence situation managed to call the police under the guise of calling to order pizza. The woman was smart enough to stick with her story despite the operator initially assuming that it was a prank call. Eventually, by being persistent, the operator, a man named Mr. Tenick, realized what was going on and dispatched the needed help. The following is a reading of the actual conversation.
Oregon 911.
I would like to order a pizza at...
You called 911 to order a pizza?
Yeah, apartment...
This is the wrong number to call for a pizza.
No, you're not.
I'm getting you now. Is the other guy still there?
Yeah. I need a large pizza.
All right. How about medical? You need medical?
No. With pepperoni.
6. Paul and Rachel Chandler. In 2009, the couple was kidnapped by Somali pirates. Luckily, their family had discussed the risks involved on the route they were taking beforehand and agreed, if a crisis arises, that they would not send any messages that caused alarm. One of the family members sent a message that simply read, "Call me." After getting no response, the family notified the authorities, and more than a year later, the couple was released after negotiations succeeded. 7. Jeremiah Andrew Denton Jr. is one of the most famous secret message success stories out there. He was a prisoner of war for 8 years in North Vietnam. When forced to participate in a media interview by his captors as part of government propaganda, Jeremiah came up with an incredible plan. During the interview, which was broadcast throughout America, he managed to use Morse code to signal the word torture. The code was quickly picked up and notified the American government that they were not safe, as the interviewee had intended to them to think. Jeremiah was later released and went on to become a U.S. state senator. 8. Our last secret message situation originated in China, but was discovered in England. A 6-year-old girl called Florence from South London was writing Christmas cards for her classmates. She said she was on her 6th card when she noticed someone had already written in it. She showed the message to her father, who realized that it was a call for help. They notified authorities, and the story ended up being picked up by the BBC. It turned out that the note came from a labor camp in China where people were forced to work unfairly. The publicity of this and other stories later helped to pressure the Chinese government to review their work camp system. There you have it, 8 incredible cases of people who kept their cool and used secret messages to either aid their escape or inform hostages that help was on the way. Have you heard of any crazy stories of hostage survival and secret messages? If so, share it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and come back tomorrow for another interesting video.